Chair of the Labour Party, Ellie Reeves, is with us now. Government position as well, of course. Nice to see you. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time. Prime Minister expected to warn that life in the UK is going to get worse before it gets better. Can you outline how that's going to be?
Well, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, will be making a speech this morning about the need to fix the foundations of the country after 14 years of failure under the last Conservative government. And during the general election campaign, we made clear that there were going to be tough choices, that things were going to be difficult. Public services on their needs, people feeling the pinch of the cost of living crisis. And you know, we're not about sticking plaster politics. It's not about papering over the cracks, which is what we saw with the last government. It's about fixing the foundations so that people's lives can and will be better under this government.
So how are things going to get worse before they get better? They're pretty bad already, aren't they?
Well, you know, things don't change overnight. NHS waiting lists are high. No, I mean, we got into government, and one of the things that immediately happened is we started talking to NHS bosses about those 40,000 more hospital appointments and procedures each week. But it doesn't happen overnight. You know, we talked in the election campaign about getting those 6,500 more teachers in the school. But again, it doesn't happen overnight.
What's going to get worse? Are those NHS waiting lists going to get longer before you start to get on top of it? Are there going to be bigger problems with our public services before you get on top of that? What's going to get worse?
Well, we've come into government, we've fixed the disputes with the junior doctors so that people can get the appointments that they need. We will be having those extra appointments, those extra dental appointments. But there are no quick fixes. It takes time. That's why, you know, in the first weeks of government, we've done things like set up GB Energy. We have repealed the effective ban on more onshore wind. We've started the work to recruit those extra teachers, to get those extra NHS hospitals appointments. But it doesn't happen overnight, Kay. Yeah. You know that, and
yeah, but you're not answering my question,
viewers know that.
And I've asked you 3 times, so let me move on. Is the Cabinet split over the decision to scrap the universal winter fuel allowance for pensioners?
No, and look, this is an incredibly tough decision and not one that the Chancellor wanted to be taking, but it's because of the economic mess that we've inherited from the previous government. We got into government and found that there was a 22 billion black hole in the country's finances, and that requires tough choices.
But even I know that. That's been around for quite a long time, that number.
But it requires tough choices to be made.
That the Cabinet is in unison that was the right decision?
It is the right decision. It's the tough decision and not one that wants to be taken. And the Cabinet are behind the Chancellor
in unison
on this. This is a decision that's been taken by the Chancellor with the support of the Cabinet. There aren't splits on this. It's a decision that no one wanted to be in the position to have to make. It's not something that we wanted to do, but it's something that is the responsible thing to do because of that 22 billion black hole in the country's finances.
Talk to me about Lord Wahid Ali being given a pass to number 10. What was that all about?
As far as I'm aware, he hasn't got a pass now. He had...
Yeah, but he did have one.
I think he had a pass for a few weeks.
And it was a AAA pass as well. He could go wherever he wanted to.
Well, I don't know about that, Kay, but I understand that it was for a period of a few weeks when we first got into government. You know, Lord Ali is a well-respected Labour peer.
Shouldn't have access to Downing Street, though. Well,
as far as I'm aware, he wasn't involved in any policy decisions in Downing Street. It's not unusual for a sort of political figure to have a pass. No, as far as I'm aware, no rules have been broken, and he doesn't have a pass anymore.
Nothing to do with the fact that he personally donated quite a lot of money to Keir Starmer's campaign?
No, I mean, Lord Ali...
What about the £20,000 worth of clothes and glasses he gave him?
Lord Ali is someone who's been a Labour peer for a very long time. He did a great deal of work supporting our general election campaign and had a pass for a very short period of time after we won the election. He wasn't involved in policy decisions.
Lots of other people helped you win the election as well. Did they have a pass too?
I can't comment on individual who's got passes and who hasn't got passes to number 10, and I think you probably, would appreciate that.
But, OK, let me ask it another way. is it reasonable for anybody who donates a significant amount of money to have access to the seat of power in our country?
Well, there's no rules that prevent someone who has made a donation or had a political job in the past being, having a role. There are rules that have to be followed. There are processes that have to be followed, and it's important that those rules are respected. Lord Ali had a pass for a few weeks. I don't know all the details of that, but I'm sure all the proper processes were followed.
Who would have issued it?
I can't answer that, Kay. I'm not involved. I'm not involved in that process. Yeah, look, he had a pass for a few weeks, as I understand it. He hasn't got a pass now. He's a well-respected figure, a Labour peer, and there are processes that have to be followed before passes can be issued, and I'm confident that those will be followed. Okay, you know that I'm not involved in the processes of who does and doesn't get passes. I'm sure you do a very good job of that, Kay.
Are you excited about Oasis?
I am excited about Oasis, yeah.
Favourite song?
Favourite song? Do you know my favourite song by Oasis is The Master Plan. I think it was like the B-side to Wonderwall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah.
We're out of time. I hope you won't look back in anger at this interview. It's good to see you as always.
Thanks,
Thank you very much indeed for joining us.